Howdy folks, the shop is just about completed, so we're going to be getting ready to, I guess, start to really move in here. But in the meantime, I had an experiment that I started a few weeks ago, and I wanted to catch up with you all on it because it's for 3D printing. And one of the things that we start with 3D printing is a product called PLA, and it's not very good outside. It's terrible. In the car, it's going to break down. Anytime you don't have moisture or at least humidity control and temperature control conditions, your PLA seems to turn into a pretzel. So unless it's sitting in the home on a shelf someplace, generally the PLA is it's going to be a bust. So you sort of have to do your modeling according to that. Now, I do have some products that I still use PLA for that go out of my print farm, but they're very small. They don't seem to warp. There doesn't seem to be any problems with them. We've tested over the years, and it's like, yeah, no problem. So, okay, good. We can use PLA. We'll get away with it because it is the easiest stuff to run on a 3D printer, I believe. If you can't run, PLA, you're in trouble. Yeah. Anyways, a while back, last year, I think it was, Polymaker came out with this HT PLA, high temperature. And it kind of got me really excited because I thought it would be nice to be able to run PLA for products that get into temperature problems. And I thought maybe this would get around that problem and be able to use PLA. That would be great because it's easy to print. It's just easy printing on a 3D printer. So I bought some spools and started running this stuff off a little bit. And I really thought, this is fine, but really we need to sort of test the product. I don't have any, real means of measuring the PLA product from Polymaker as far as the HT goes. I don't have anything on hand, and I looked around and I really didn't see anything inspiring on the YouTube. So I thought I'll show you what I'm doing. Set this up a couple of weeks ago. So it's going to be a while. I don't know how long it'll take to show up or what's going to happen. So first thing I'm going to do is show you a product that was made from PLA that went outside on the back wall of our home. Then I'm going to go over and show you the one that's made by Polymaker HT. And it's still there, it's still holding right now. So I'm like, okay, let's take a look at this. So here's the product that we're talking about. It's hard to see it now. It was nailed to the wall, the brick wall in the back of the house. And this would sit here like this, and you could put your garden hose on it. You'd have a little guard here to help the hose from not falling off. And it was made nice and high so that the garden hose could hang really low, and that would be easy to put the garden hose up, that sort of thing. So anyways, that was the basics of it. And it's just got a little half, not even a quarter of a circle here, just something, round, whatever. Just threw this together on plasticity, drew it up, printed it, PLA, stuck it on the back wall, and then over the winter time and the spring and all that, it was fine. And then all of a sudden we started to get into summer, the sun started to beat on the back of the house, and of course this went to, drooping down like that. So it's still, it's no longer a functional print, but it was like, what, this would give me a chance to try HT PLA and just see, does it hold up better in temperature like it should, and how good would it be outside with a condition like this? Obviously, this should be made from like ABS or maybe even ASA. I think, I've got some ASA here, and maybe do it out of ASA or something would be a no-brainer. But meantime, I thought, let's just check the Polymaker HT and just see, can it function outside at all? And let's go have a look, and I'll show you where this was. Here's the new one here. Now, this is made from HT PLA, and it is starting to give up a little bit, but it's not, of course, like this where it's completely drooped down, the hose fell off, and game over. This is holding up a lot better in the heat and the temperature here, but it is starting to show a little bit of droop. So is HT PLA something you could stick outside and use? The answer is no. We're still looking at something that should probably be in the home, but over the next course, few weeks, whatever, I'll come back to this and I'll keep checking, keeping an eye on this to see when it heads for failure. When it does fail, then we're going to go ahead and probably make one out of probably ASA or something, or one of the automotive plastics, I'm not sure. And we'll make it out of that, maybe even carbon fiber, who knows, something exotic. And we'll put that out here and see how that holds up. But in the meantime, you can see this is why we don't use PLA outside. It's going to fail. It's just going to droop down like that. It virtually melted. It got hot in the sun, which the sun beats in the afternoon right here. And of course, this gets hot, really hot. And I'd say right now it's doing pretty good. For PLA, it's doing fantastic. It is drooping a little bit. It is starting to do a little bit of the warp factor, but nowhere near as quick or as bad as this. This went, in, as soon as the sun started really shining back here, yeah, this one failed immediately. So it's like, yeah, this is why you don't do this. But this is all about PLA. So we're going to check back week to week, and I'll keep an eye on this and see when the failure is, and just let you know whether it totally fails or not, because it's HT PLA. It might survive the whole summer out here. I doubt it. I don't know, but we're going to find out. Okay, so like I said in the previous video, I'm going to try to get videos out a lot closer to, every couple days, every day. I'd love to have one out every morning or something, but unfortunately, right now the schedule, it appears that I just can't get it all out of there. I just can't get videos out every day. I'd love to, because there's so much going on here. All the insulation is done. I'm going to be going around with spray foam now and just tacking up all the corners, loose ends kind of thing. So we've got a little bit of, I guess we'll call it finish work to do with the insulation, but the big thing with the poly board and everything, it's completed. So yay, yeah, finally. We can bring the 68 Camaro in here pretty soon and get her in her location where she's going to be sitting for a while I work on her. Also, I got to get my workbench, I got to move in kind of thing, because there's very little furnishings in here at all. In fact, my temporary workbench can get knocked down, and I'll get my real workbench out here, stuff like that. This, I have yet to figure out where we're going to actually keep this particular bench. This is from Vibor. It's a nice workbench. I love it. It rolls around, so it's like, yeah, who don't like that, Also need some industrial shelving in here yet, so I can start shelving up my, what I like to call the consumables. Makes sense. The printers are not going to be here anytime soon. Couple of problems. One is they are production machines, and they're running generally day to day, so it's kind of hard to stop them, bring them out to a situation like this, start them back up, and hopefully, recalibrate, check, make sure nothing has gotten knocked out of place with the 3D printers, and then start pumping product out of here. It's quite a conversion, I guess you could say. And Anycubic finally sent me a notice. Now, I paid for the printer in November during Black Friday. They had a sale thing. I took advantage of it, and then we've been sitting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Yeah, this is almost the middle of June, and I just got the notice that Friday that machine will be here. This is a large format. It's an S1 Max, I think it is, and it's like 350 by 350 by 350, I believe. It's a big enclosed printer. It has heat chamber. It has all kinds of neat stuff on it that I really want for production. So in other words, I'm not going to get to play with the machine that much. It's going to be producing parts, manufacturing parts for our 3D printing farm. And we're going to see how it does, how it performs. And if it does really well, I'm hoping it does really well, we might even order a second one in and try to get that in. One of the reasons is really sad. I've got an Anycubic big one, yeah. It's 420 by 420 on the build plate, and it has run, I just calculated the other day, I think it's put out a total of about $16,000 worth of product, and we paid $150 for it. It was a repair directly from Anycubic in California. I repaired it, fixed it, put it to work, and I thought after about, $1,000 worth of product or something, we need to get this thing out of here. Well, we're now at about $16,000 worth of product, and that stupid thing is still pumping out good product every day. I don't know what's going to happen, because my idea was to cycle the machine out and get rid of it and get into these, these new formatted S1 Max printers from Anycubic. And we only use one color. So, I don't need multicolor, but I think in terms of multicolor, one good thing would be you could put partial spools up there with you. If it runs out in the middle of the job, it'll switch to the next spool and keep right on going. I thought, yeah, that would be okay. That would start to work. So we're going to be dealing with that Friday, apparently, when that gets here. It's going to be a big, heavy, I think it's 100 pounds or so. It's a heavy machine, and it's bulky. I'm going to put it in the garage for the time being. I've got a spot on the bench where it can go beside the other 3D printers, so we can start testing and running and evaluating, see how that goes. Hopefully it can take over everything that the old 420 by 420 is doing, which is the old Cobra 1 or 2, Cobra 2 Max, I think it was. Yeah, that thing has more than given itself to us for producing parts, but we need to get it going. Anyway, meantime, I will continue to monitor this situation and update you from I guess week to week or something as to how this works out. I do see there is some sign of failure with the HT, which is kind of a letdown, but I'm not sure where Polymaker was coming from when they put this high temperature PLA. When they came out with the product, it was kind of like, what's the application exactly? Is it because it can go outside? Can it just stand up to more heat than PLA? And supposedly it can. It can stand up to a lot more heat. Well, the problem I have back there is heat. Obviously, the sun's beating on that wall, and everything is just sort of melting and drooping down. So I thought that would maybe that would be an interesting test, and so far it is an interesting test, and it's kind of letting me down a little bit because it is showing some drooping and what have you. There is quite a bit of weight. You remember with a garden hose, you probably a lot of times will have it full of water, so that increases the weight on this a lot. So there is quite a bit of weight sitting on this, not just an empty garden hose. It's a garden hose probably charged up with water. So that's again, you're probably looking at what, 5 to 10 pounds of water or something altogether in there. I don't know what I haven't weighed it, so I don't really know, but I'm going to guess to say between 5 and 7 pounds roughly when it's full of water. Pretty heavy, for that to be, sitting on like PLA. Anyway, thanks for watching. Keep watching. We will be back. Hopefully we'll be back as soon as Friday when we do the, I don't know if we'll do an open box, but we will definitely have something to say about any cubic. Over and out.